How are you today? Pardon the hair. She's wild. She's her own man. My name is Charente Carr. Um, and I'm really excited to be able to present to you guys business one-on-one or business as told by Charente. So please take everything that I say with also your whatever vibes with you, vibe with it. Research it for yourself. Figure out if this is really truth for you or if it's not. And that's all dependent upon you. These are just things that I've learned, and I'm going to take the time so you can also understand me just a little bit more as well. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So this, like I said, business one-on-one with me. And we're going to go to the next slide. So the key things that we're going to be talking today, we're going to talk about my background. We're going to talk about what my dream ultimately is. So you just know a little bit more about me. We're going to learn what business is. Why did I choose an LLC, specifically not an S Corp, not a C Corp, but an LLC? How did I lay down the foundation of my business, and what tools am I using to optimize it to the best of my ability so that I can still have time with my family, time with my friends, and time with community, period. So now with that simply being said, let's go ahead and go to the next slide. A little bit about Charente. My name is Charente Carr, and I am a mindset coach for those who feel stuck, overwhelmed, lost, hurt, and who are looking to live a life of their dreams. Like, who doesn't want that? How did I get here? I personally have had a lot of things happen to me, and I thought it was, why God, why this, why this? God's like, I was getting you ready for a time as this where I can truly help heal people. Because in my life and all that, I've always wanted to have a wellness center that helps all walks of life. It's hard to help all walks of life if you don't know a little bit about life itself. Okay, so forced those hard circumstances, and these are just a few. I am in school, as I'm always a constant learner. I did finish my Korean class, so that's actually done. My women's entrepreneurship class, I am still doing today. I did my associates, and that was a surprise that I graduated. Life. And I graduated on time when I was doing high school because I planned out to actually graduate at 16. Graduate at 17, I was like, dang it, I missed it by a year, but it is what it is, y'all. I still did it. Personal accomplishments that I had. I was a homeowner at 18, married at 25, dog mom at 27. And I was making up to $45,000 just having a high school diploma. So when people are like, degrees get money, and degrees don't get money, why are you applying yourself? I have questions. Because if I was able to do it with a high school diploma, everyone should be able to do this with a college diploma, because you guys got this. You're smart. I know you are. You did it. You finished. College is hard. Okay. I also, another accomplishment, I helped cure myself, as in God cured me of anemia, hydrogenized suppurativa, polycystic ovaries at the age of 27. Professional background. I have a lot of background in business because like I said, I wanted a wellness center. So when I chose my jobs, I chose it in alignment with my future goal in mind. So I was a sales associate. I did customer service. I did marketing. I did tech. I did the human resources part of stuff. I also got the opportunity to learn as like a nanny and really understanding, because I said wellness. When I mean wellness, I mean for everybody from baby to adult. I wanted everybody in between. I've been really cultivating this space. So what does that look like? And putting my space in those areas that I get to learn. And now currently I am a Workday systems administrator. So I'm the IT person, which is why I was laughing with Malikia and Scott earlier, because I was having IT issues and I'm the IT person. Okay. You gotta love life, right? You just gotta love life. That's just what it all is about. That's also my husband on the screen, so you guys can actually see him. And that's my little puppy named Bandit. So you can see who he is. He's an adorable baby. Some of my core competencies is team leadership, engagement, innovation, business. Like I do a lot. And that's because I've cultivated this and I've taken the time to train at this and ask other people to mentor me in these areas. The next thing we're going to talk about, like I said, my dream. It literally has everything. It has legal services. It has a brochure, spiritual, fitness, any part of you being a human. I want it in that wellness center. Okay, I don't know what that's going to actually look like in regards to brick and mortar, but it's what I want to have established, not just in the United States, but all over the world, so people can really walk in their full alignment. Now we're going to pause. Any questions about my background? I was going to throw this. I have a lot of stopping points to also give you guys to absorb what you guys have read, what I've been talking about. So there are some pauses in here, and I pause for the cause of, so you can actually ask questions, because I want this to be as interactive as possible, as I don't want y'all to be asleep in the middle of the day. I'm just going to throw this out there. That's just me and my 2 cents. So without no question, we're going to go ahead and go to, what is business? Business is defined as an organization or enterprising entity engaged in commercial, industrial, or professional activities. That's what it means. Businesses can be for-profit and they can be nonprofit organizations. They're just different classifications. Business types range from LLC companies to sole proprietorships, corporations, and partnerships. Like I said, all of these are different. Some businesses run as small operations in a single industry, while others are large operations that spread into many industries. So let's think from Starbucks going into where we're a Walmart or we're a Costco. Because Walmart and Costco have different industries that they're also subcategorized into because they sell other products. So why I chose a LLC? Try to make this as easy, as clear, as concise as possible. It's because it protects my personal liability, as in if someone wants to sue me, they can't get my true assets, my personal assets. They can only touch my business because I'd established the LLC. Another reason is it was super easy to form within Nevada, as well as in Nevada, it gives you a little bit of privacy if you don't want someone to know who you are, which simply also means that when you're doing your registered agent, you do not want that to be you and your address. Then people will know where you live. And that was the whole point of you getting a Nevada LLC. Just gonna throw this out there. Also, it's a lot more flexible than a C corporation. And it's when it comes to business structure, it's a lot simpler. Okay. Unlimited ownership. I get that. As well as there's possible equity as incentive programs. So that means for me that I can actually give someone equity of my company if I should want to. Eventually later, if I choose to make it a corporation, I can actually then give them the stocks if that's my thing to go in and do an IPO, which is the initial public offering of my business and letting people know these are how many shares we have, this is how much this is, and what my current allocations look like. Because you don't always have to pay someone with hard cash now. They can always invest into your future. It's just a trade-off. Okay. Another reason I also like this is the taxes are not as bad. You get 2 options. You can either file as a sole proprietor or you can file as a S corporation. For me, I still file as a sole proprietor as I've not really made enough money for me to warrant and to switch over to doing a S corporation. So these are the tax things. Any questions? Concerns? But if there are no questions, we can keep on with the move on, because why not, baby? How I selected a business. I personally looked at my strengths. I looked at what I like doing. And I also looked at what was my dream. And I did my Venn diagram all together and say, hey, in between all these intersections, these two meet. Now, how do we bring these two together? And from doing that, I figured out that I like being able to coach and mentor people. That's what I love doing. I also love teaching people. So how do I do that? I do that by talking to you guys like right now and being able to convey a concept in a way that you hopefully understand. And if you don't, you'll understand by the time we are done with today's conversation. Either way, it's okay. And I make it fun so you can remember it, because you'll remember the feeling of fun when you think of business, as business should be fun for you. And if business is fun for you, that means you're going to fall more in love with doing your business. And the more you fall in love with doing your business, the more that you're falling in love with helping your community. So I'm going to make this, as, like I said, as fun as possible. Another reason, I mind map some things. So what you're seeing right here is my mind map. This is my current one. You see where I put Charente. I said I like volunteering, painting, tech. I like books. I like inspiration, movies, BTS, reaction. I like a lot of it. Now from this, what am I going to do? What is going to be the product out of me liking all these things that you see? Well, I'm going to have a company by the name of JCLV21. And in this company, I'm going to hold things and have a space where I use marketing such as Eventbrite to help me with my SEO and my search functionality. SEO is search engine optimization. Help me be able to be more searchable and show up higher on the rankings of the pages and spaces without someone saying, I found you on page 20. No, you found me on page 1. And that's why you joined my thing, because I was on page 1. Okay. We don't search many pages. And what I actually want to do with that, such as truly teaching what I want to teach, as well as adding my painting into it, because painting is a creative part of me. And that's also how I teach things. And especially when we're thinking about further and more like what I teach on forgiveness and doing the Ho'oponopono prayer and actually making a painting out of it. I use everything throughout my business. The next thing is my Affirmation Station, my podcast. What do I want out of that? How many streams of revenue and income do I want from that? That's what I started listing out. Hey, I'm going to have a podcast. Then I'm going to have my 1 minute segments for my marketing. Then I'm going to have my merch. And of my merch, I'm going to have these things that everyone always uses, but I'm going to have branded for me and my business. The next thing is my coaching. What kind of coaching do I want to do? One-on-ones, groups, seminars, retreats. I want to do all of it. A little bit here, a little bit there. And I know it's going to take a minute to build, but figuring also out what topics that I want to teach within the coaching space is very important. When you're generally thinking about life coaching, because it's the business that I selected, is that there are a couple of things that people think about. People are generally needing help with their health, and they'll seek out whatever they need to numb their pain about their health. They will also do that for their money, and they will also do that for their time, generally speaking. Those to me are the 3 areas that people really will pay money into, say, I need more help with these areas. And for me, it all starts in your mind. If you have a mindset, and the kind of way I can say that, you're not going to have the best of life circumstances. And when that simply means that is you're allowing the negative to completely somehow wash out all the light of the positivity. And when you do that, you literally stop yourself from allowing yourself to achieve, and you do self-sabotaging behaviors. So that's why I chose what I do. And like I said, mind mapped it, because multi-million dollars. I think we all want to be multi-million dollar areas, but did you map it out? Did you say these are the streams that I'm thinking about? Because if you do that, you can really understand like what do you actually want to do. And this is how I know some millionaires have done it. They mind mapped it. Questions?
All right. Charente, that was amazing. I do have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, first of all, your presentation thus far has been amazing. So, when selecting the type of business you wanted to do based on your personal preferences, loves, interests, and everything else, at what point did you, how can I put it, come to either a realization or a mental compensation for how you were going to move forward in this? And what I mean is, you said you love coaching and mentoring. Now, if you had said you loved driving, or you love this, or you love that, you factor not only what you like in it, but also the factors to get into that. When it comes to coaching and mentoring, 9 times out of 10, from the outside looking in, people are looking for someone who has some age behind them to think, oh, you've been there and done that. How do you compensate for what the world expects to see in a coach or mentor, since that is your love and your expertise now, but people may not look at you right now and see that on the cover?
Oh, so well, you're like my authority, is that, just to make sure I'm understanding this right?
So you want to your business is a business that people generally would think of someone in there, who, correct me if I'm wrong, you're not even in your 30s yet, and you have a youthful appearance. You're already, you have that youthful appearance. So someone thinking, okay, you're going to coach me, but where have you been? did you say to yourself, okay, I got to hit them up front with my intellect, my knowledge, my history, or I'm just going to go in and either they're going to accept me for who I am and understand this is what I do or not? Did you ever take any of that into consideration?
Got you now. So I will say this, for me personally speaking, is I still get carded, y'all, at movies because they think I'm a high school student. So when it comes to me being the mindset coach that I am, I don't start off as saying I'm a mind coach at all. I don't say my name with people and interact and communicate with them. And based off that, they're like, wait, you have a business? Like, I want to work with you. And I'm like, oh, that's dope. That's awesome. But I don't start out like that. I'm just the kind little Charente that I am. And people are however they're going to think or prejudge me for. And then they're generally profound and astounded of what I say. Because I have done that personally also in the networking group I was in. I've been quiet this entire time. I haven't said much this entire time. And we had a full conversation about managing your energy and not your time. And after everyone spoke, the lady was like, we all saved the best for last, which was you, Charente. Because I was able to explain everything that they were saying in regard to their energy, their mindset, and all of it, including parenting involved, and summarize it up in a way that they could all understand it and in a deeper level, because I've taken the time to understand all of these areas. I'm not really, I'll say honestly, worried about the people that don't vibe with me or think that I am too young or too youthful for it. That just means they're not ready to live that best life yet. Because if I'm generally brought up to them, I know I'm always an answer to someone's prayer because they have said that.
So for your business, and that was an excellent answer. So my follow-up question would be, for your business model, which is an organic growth, that discovery conversation may work where people discover your intellect just by connecting with you. But if you wanted to grow beyond that more than just organically, do you think you then in turn would have to confront that issue of convincing people of your ability matched against your youthful appearance, if you would?
Honestly, so this is actually the course that I'm going through right now, which is my entrepreneurial presence, specifically. So I've been working on my course assignments for this, and I will say this for me and myself. Dallas, one, I apologize. I did not know there's kids present. So please take my sincere gratitude about the word that I dropped. My sincere apologies. Two, when it comes to my entrepreneurial presence, and really being able to, I guess, be more assertive over it, so people can be like, hey, I'm going to her, it's definitely going to always be her, is that, how do I say this? I'm not really worried about it. I have nothing to prove to nobody. The people that are going to work with me are people that are going to work with me no matter what. Like, I have had the meanest comments ever that came from family, not my family. I'm just going to say family. And I handle it with as much love and respect as I can, but I still love them no matter what. And no matter what they say, if it's going to build me up or tear me down, it doesn't matter to me. Because at the end of the day, the money's going to roll in how God's going to have the money roll in. I'm not worried about my presence, because my presence, I know it's more than enough. If that makes any sense for me, at least.
Thank you for entertaining my questions. Because as entrepreneurs, we all have different things we uniquely have to overcome in our industries that we inherently have about ourselves. And I'm just wondering how you confront that in your own vertical. So thank you.
You're welcome. I'll just, Malikia.
So, and I just saw the messages too. My chat is open, but I didn't even see that, Dallas. And I'm hoping your headphones are somewhere close. Fast forward. So when you made your web, there was a lot of stuff in your web, and not being able to see you create it. If you were to teach someone how to web out for that same X that you solved, what would that sound like or look like?
Let's go ahead and make one right quick.
Let's go.
I like doing that. Okay, so get my handy dandy markers right now. Okay. Like I said, I stay ready, y'all. So let's go ahead and we're gonna move this down. right quick. And actually, we're going to move this up so you can see the board just a little bit better. Better, guys? You can see it better? Okay. So when we're thinking about a mind map, this is how I generally start. I put your name. Okay. Now I got a question for you. Who are you? Give Malika, you're going to be my test person. Who are you?
Did you put your headphones on, Dallas?
Oh, God.
I don't know if she put her headphones on, so I'm going to have to take her down.
Would it be safer if she chose someone else other than you?
I can't.
I am amazingly colorful. I am mom. I am grandmom. I am entrepreneur. I am faithful. I am love.
So, Nana.
Gigi. We don't even do the nanas.
There you go. I put Gigi. She tiny, but she there. What else you got? Who are you? Because you just gave me a whole bunch of roles.
Say it again.
You just gave me a whole bunch of roles. Who are you?
So if we drop down to it, I am love. I am embodiment. I am spirit. I am force. And I am static. If we're talking about the real who I am. Go ahead.
That's what I want. I want the real who you are, because when we're talking about the real who you are, that's also talking about your purpose. Okay.
Cool. That's good.
So now that we've done that, I'm going to go ahead and switch colors right quick. And mind you, I'm also, for myself, I'm going to stop screen sharing temporarily so you guys can see my thing better. And then I will go ahead and spotlight.
Oh, bravo.
There you guys go. So you guys can see this better.
Oh,
okay. So I had to think about it. I was like, I don't think y'all can actually see this really well. Okay. So the next thing that we are going to look at is from this, what do you like to do? And you got to give me a second.
In the highest form, the word is play.
You said what?
In the highest form, the word is play.
Play. Okay. Okay. You like play. What else do you like? Poetry? Yeah.
Well, poetry comes through my play. Playing for me is the umbrella. Poetry comes through that. Teaching comes through that. Learning comes through that. Engaging, creating, those things come through my play. Mischief, definitely a fan.
Okay, I wrote all that down. What else do you like to do? Do you like riding motorcycles? Do you like doing zip lining?
I do like motorcycles. I like plane jumps. I like kayaking. I like wandering.
Outdoor activities. Okay. Outdoor activities.
Yep.
Okay.
Adventure. Very important to me. Wait. I hope your headphones are on, Dallas. Jesus.
Physical touch and connection.
Did you repeat that? I didn't hear it. I didn't. Yeah. What did you? What?
It's soap and exercise.
Sharing energy XO. That's what she said.
There we go. Sharing energy XO. Bravo.
Jesus. I was like,
I just this is recorded, yes, so we can catch the. Okay, yeah, well. Good.
I can't. So you like?
You asked. This is just true. Go ahead.
I'm being honest. I asked you. You like play outdoor? Anything else you want to put for what? What do you like?
Creating. It's a must for me.
Creating is in a play. Try again. What else you got?
Nah. Well, creation for me goes in the play and out. Most things come through the window of play for me. The creation also comes a different vein. It has a different vibration as well. But it definitely comes through play.
Okay. Oh, wait. You also like community. So you like helping out. I love
community. Serving. That's true. Community is very important.
Serving is.
I am a servant. If you put that with a who are you, that more goes there.
Okay. Okay. Did that? Perfect. Okay. Now that we went to your name, we went to what you like to do. Okay. So my question is now, you're go thinking about it. Now we're going to come up with the business. You ready?
Let's go. Let's see if I'm doing the right thing.
I can't with you. You probably are. Because if you're doing it, then you're already doing it. Okay. So business. Okay. I just wrote down. Now we're going to actually put some things out. Give me some branches of your business. So like I said, for me, I do a teaching, I do painting, I do podcasting, I have books, and I actually do coaching. What within that, like what do you do for your business?
The majority of what I do is speaking. If we were going to do percentages, I do a lot of speaking. I do a lot of building community.
What else you do?
I facilitate.
That's speaking for me.
Because it doesn't move out through the speaking. The facilitating is, I'm facilitating emotions. I'm facilitating people's transitions through traumas. I'm facilitating folks
So
connecting.
you're a healer?
Themselves. Ma'am?
So you're a healer?
I am.
Healing vessels, what I'm going to call it. What else you got? Do you do coaching? I thought you did coaching.
Yeah, I do. And consulting, and harassing, and accountability.
Okay, so these are all your different branches, right?
I do playtime very well. That must be in there.
So play is part of your business. Okay.
Mischief playtime. I get sought out for those things. Happily.
I'm putting play. I'm gonna stay at play. Okay.
Watch me.
Okay, you're just trying to go into specifics. I'm just trying to get the high levels.
Let's go. Let's go.
Okay.
Hallelujah.
Be over there.
Okay, now that we've done that, I need another pen. 1 second, guys.
Yes, dear.
Got another pen. Perfect. Okay, so for speaking, my question is for this particular one. When I think of this, I'm thinking of what speaking topics do you normally do, and where do you generally get the most source? Like where do these speaking engagements come from exactly?
So the great part about it is I've been in DV space for over 20 years.
Said DV?
Mm-hmm. Domestic violence.
Oh, DV.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What else?
Trauma.
Okay.
Resilience.
Perfect.
And self-love. That's the majority of my talks roll right around those.
Okay. Now, building community. What does that look like?
Ask me a more precise question.
You say you don't move to the next question?
No, I said ask me a more precise question when it comes to building community. What is the question?
So the question for building community would be this. Is this local? And if it's local, what are you doing? If it's broad, what does that look like? Are you doing food pantries? Are you building programs? What's going on with building community? Like what exactly are you doing?
I do digital communities. I've been less on that latter years. I've been less on the in-person communities, but I do that as well. And they're generally around service or growth.
Okay. Perfect. Next question. Accountability. Are these text messages? Like what's going on here?
Coaching, calls, mastermind. And
Okay.
project based too. Some of them are project based, working with clients. So
Perfect. You said you're a healing vessel. Give me your healing modalities again.
Sanctuary XP, that's a heavy one. That's what's in play right now.
Say it one more time.
Sanctuary experience.
Oh, Sanctuary. Thank you.
And eventually when XPM takes legs, it'll be there as well.
You said XP.
XP and XPM. And then there's XPY and XPC, but those two I'm not touching those yet until XP and XPM are walking. Unless Tamara and Jay pull a yes for the XPY. That might happen faster, but we'll see.
Okay. I try to write down your acronyms. I'm going to throw this out there now.
I know what they are.
That's all that matters. I don't need to know the specifics.
Right.
Okay. Anything else for healing vessel? Or is that it?
I'm not doing one-on-ones. And that coaching comes out of that too.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. Play. You say you have play in part of your business. What's that?
We're recorded.
What is that on the safest and most high level way you can say this?
Put fun. Indoor fun and outdoor fun.
Is this relationship based?
Oh, that
No.
that comes into play, but it's a whole lot of fun. Grown-up fun, adult fun. There we go.
Physical.
Some of it is, some of it is not. It's not. Some of it is a relationship. Some of it is completely not.
I'm just gonna put mischief. I think I understand what you're talking about. Perfect. Okay.
Because we're recorded, and I don't know where the kids are. I don't know where the hair.
No, you're fine. Okay. Consultant for what?
Business funding, business projects, discovery, business reinvention, and then self-connection. The majority of what I do starts out with a reconnection to God, a reconnection to self. When I help folks reconnect to God and themselves, then we can move. So.
Okay. Coaching. So you do coaching one-on-one. So you do group coaching.
I have done group coaching. I like the one-on-ones, but I am being encouraged to go back to group coaching. I still do firesides, which I do enjoy.
Anything else for coaching? You got?
I think we have a good ball.
Perfect. So my question. So now that we've have all this fun stuff here, I think you guys for allowing me to go through this exercise.
I know how fun.
Okay.
Let's go.
So like I said, the reason why we did this is because now I want you to figure out based off this. I'll send you this actual photo so you can actually have this of what businesses can come out of this. So domestic violence. There can be training programs that will now go into actual hospitals, that will go into different places and spaces, programs that you can sell. In addition to that, within that, you're going to have workbooks, you're going to have digital downloads, you're going to have all the gambit. Now we're going to go into trauma. What things that you can help with people with trauma? Teach them self-defense. So that means having someone that you know that knows martial arts that is a part of your regimen and teaching that as part of your program in regards to the trauma to get the person's power back and they can feel it. And actually taking a look at each of these and figuring out what business can spring about this. What of these can be passive? What of these will I have to be involved in? What of these can I have someone else do? And I have stake in regards to it where I have 52% majority and they have a 48%. And actually taking each one of these and taking this mind map and making her even bigger by actually going more in on one-on-ones. I want you to say, how can you craft your one-on-ones where you can sell how you do your one-on-ones to somebody else? Digital download right there, baby. All these things that you listed is a business. Making t-shirts for the community that are uplifting. That's a business. Accountability partner, getting text message softwares to help you with that. will be very helpful, and you can teach that process. Now, are you getting me when I said the mind map?
I understand exactly what you did. And I'm glad
Okay.
that you exercise. It's pretty fun. So this is my mission and my fun while playing with you. And it's fun to look at that and look at what I actually do and see where it connects. Does it connect? Is it linear? So that was a very fun exercise for me because it just keeps popping up. I know who I am all the way through it.
You do.
And
I absolutely love it. And let's go ahead and go back here. Now that we've done that exercise, you guys can replicate these questions for yourself as well. So what I'll do from this is I'll make it prettier and just literally put the questions by itself. So you can do your own mind map on your own piece of paper to see if things are in alignment and see what businesses that you want to do out of it. You might get so many business ideas that you feel overwhelmed. You don't have to work on all of them right now. It's just for you to mind map it. So when you accomplish one thing, you know that there's a next, and you already have predestined what that next is probably going to look like. You just ask God, what's my next one that definitely is it? For me, it's setting up my travel business. Right now, I'm just working on my coaching, but I know the next thing he's going to have me do is set up the travel part of my business because of my mind map. Okay. Now that I've said all that, we're going to go into actually laying the foundation of the business. If you're going to say you're in a business and you do not have a legal entity outside of you, you are not in business. You are in hobby. We're talking per tax codes. You are in a hobby because as a true business, you can write some things off because it's a separate entity outside of you. But if it's only all you, baby, that's not really a business. So I just want to throw this out there because I hear a lot of people saying, I have a business. And I'm like, where's your LLC? Let me see. They have nothing to show that they actually are a true business, except a name, a logo, but they don't actually have a legal entity outside of themselves. They don't have an EIN, which is like a social security number for you when we're looking at it from a government standpoint of assessing taxes on you. That differentiates you because, like I said, it's like your EIN is like this is where you build your credit. And mind you, you want to be around the 80 when you're doing your business credit. That pays into my Dun & Bradstreet number. That's the specific number that you're going to need to be assigned to even start building business credit. If you don't have a Dun & Bradstreet, go get one, please. It's going to help you in the long run. The next thing is a SAMS number. SAMS number is to help you with grants. I'm still working on that. I have it established. I just have not really played into her yet. I don't know much about it. And I am confident enough to say, I don't know much about it. And that is okay because I'm learning every day. Okay. The next thing I had, like I said, is I file taxes federally as a sole proprietor. And I looked into what I do in my state. And per my state, I do not have to pay sales tax, use tax. I don't pay any taxes because I sell services. I do not sell tangible products that I am shipping outside of Nevada or shipping within Nevada to ship back out. I'm not doing any of that. And I don't have to pay taxes on it. So looking up what's your tax situation going to look like? That's something that you should really need to know. My setup. I'm set up on square.com for my website. I'm on Google Maps. People can search me, baby. Like they can look at my reviews, they can look at the photos, and they can contact me through Google Maps. Mind you, you can also get set up on Apple Maps. You want to be able to be searchable. So when people are searching in certain keywords, your business can populate. If you're not there, it makes you harder to search. Next thing, social media. I'm everywhere. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. I'm on TikTok. Okay, I'm everywhere. My audio apps. I'm on Clubhouse and I'm on Wisdom. I also have a financial plan for my business. So I know where things are really going. And it's a part of my personal spending plan. Because I know that I am my angel investor right now, okay? So I got to make sure I can see everything in one place, in one space, so I can move money the way I need to without having to look at two spreadsheets, like I actually have two monitors. I do in this case, but you might not have to have two monitors. So put everything together until it's time for you to truly separate. Next thing I have is a Net 30 account, which is to start my business credit. And that is quill.com. Quill, I can buy anything. I can buy toilet tissue. I can buy actual computer paper, laptops. I can buy everything I need for my business within there and then give really, really good deals. It's just the deal is net 30 simply means you got to pay within 30 days. If you don't do that, they can negatively reflect onto your business credit report that you did not pay whatever the amount is and it's still outstanding. So if you have a net 30, net 60, net 90, make sure that you pay whatever those things are as they can negatively impact you. And then I have my office inside my house because inside my house, I can write off my space of my office for my house for my business because it is part of my business. This office is dedicated for my business. All my business stuff is set up in this office and I only use this space. And because I use this space, I can write this off on my taxes. Okay. And I also have my own production studio over here too, so I don't have to go to no one else's. It's very, very helpful. The next thing, a part of the creation process of my business, I had to create my logo. I had to get comfortable making assets like text, audio, and video because I wouldn't be able to be here today if I did not do this, talking to you guys, okay? I wouldn't be able to do this right now. The next thing is I developed 2 business plans by going through a nonprofit that helped me really evaluate myself as a new entrepreneur, or in their case, I'm called an entrepreneur because I still have my W-2 job while I build a business. And that's what an entrepreneur versus an entrepreneur. Entrepreneur is generally someone that would have quit, like it has nothing else but the business. That's all they have. They have nothing else but the business when it comes to income. That's generally considered an entrepreneur in this case. So I have 2 business plans from that. It's called Operation Hope. They are still doing the program if you're looking to do that. It's available today, and they will generally give you a Shopify after you're done with the program if you developed your business plan. If you didn't finish your business plan, you did not finish the program. That is the stipulation, and it makes sense to me. It's based in Atlanta, Georgia, if you just want to know more about it. The next things that I have are my digital downloads. What am I going to be actually creating? And this is all through divine inspiration. This creation come to be. So I started making digital downloads like a learn tracing book for African American kids that also has words of affirmation in it. Building my corporate record book that is digital, but I also have a physical copy printed out right here, right next to me that you guys currently can't see. And so I can pull it down and look at my business documents fast and easy, as well as development books like self-love and all the things that I talk about. I have books on that stuff that are digital downloads that people can download, they can read, and it's super accessible to them. And these are products. Another thing is I bought PLR to help me with my product creation. You guys didn't know what PLR means. It pretty much just stands for private label rights. It means someone else creates it for you and gives you the right to edit it and to sell it as your own. Okay, but you got to look at the rights and really know what each thing is. And there's multiple websites that will help you do this. Just shop around before you lock down whatever that private label rights is. This is not just in digital assets. This is also in physical assets. Like PLR will help you with buying your stuff from Alibaba to you drop shipping it and you using another company to make all of the boxes and literally pack it for you to send out to your customer. That's part of PLR. There's a convention called the White Label Convention that happens every year, twice a year in New York and Las Vegas. It's 100% free. And if you've never been to it, I recommend that you highly go so you can really understand the private label rights a lot more, because that is an expo where they show you all the current products that the vendors decide that they're going to show up. Sometimes they give you free stuff, or they'll just demo out what they do. And they'll teach you how to set up your shop. They will teach you how to get into Walmart. They'll teach you how to really be a high selling ranker on Amazon. They teach you all this at this free convention. The next thing is I created a Google form for my ideal client. And this is a life check-in form is what I call it, where it checks your mind, your body, your career, everything. And the reason I did it is for people to get, that's their takeaway. That's their gift for me, because now they have an awareness of where they're at and they're choosing to change it. They can reach out to me, because now I also know that they're serious about whatever it is that they want their help with, because they took the time to go through that Google form. If they don't do the Google form, they're not my client. And any client that doesn't want that, like I said, they're not my client. And that's okay, because this is part of my screening process. I can actually see where they're at, what they're selecting, what keywords they're selecting, because that helps me know where they're at. And if we're doing finances, I put all the extra keywords so I can actually see do they have a lack mindset or do they have an abundance mindset? Where am I really working from here? Another thing that I created was my social media marketing system. It's a marketing system because I have it where I will post on Instagram. From Instagram, I'll automatically go to my LinkedIn, my Pinterest, my Twitter, my Facebook page, and my Facebook group. The app that I use, or the website I use for that, is DLVR.it. DLVR.it. Malik, if you want to put that in the chat, you can. It's DLR.it. And it's literally just, it'll automatically post it. I can also put on stipulations of, do not post these certain things. If I put hashtag life or hashtag this, do not post this everywhere. This is just for Instagram only content. So it doesn't go everywhere. And also for the links and stuff like that, I have different things that I use. In addition, repurpose.io. Repurpose.io is what I use for my video creation and also for podcasting and the audio only. How I do that is I have it take it from TikTok or to YouTube and transfer it to my Instagram Reels, or vice versa, and make it a bilateral switch over of my content. So I don't have to do it for me. The system does it for me. And for TikTok specifically, it does not have a watermark. It removes the watermark. So you don't have to worry about it, and no one will know the wiser if you're using it on TikTok. They will know if you're using it on Facebook or on Twitter, because it will say, hey, this was posted by this particular website. And the reason why it does it is because there are certain things within the contract for Twitter in regards to people also understanding their data privacy rights, but that makes it required for them to disclose what kind of website the person is using as the bot to help them post. And the last thing,
you have to repeat that again because I don't know if I wrote it right. DLBR.it.
I'm going to put it in the chat right now.
Okay, cool.
I'm putting the second one in the chat too. DLVR.it and repurpose.io. These are the two softwares I use for everything. And so we're going to go to my handy dandy chart. I love her. So this is my chart of all my systems that I currently use, what the benefits are, and the price. So I pulled this out so I can show you what the price is for this particular software. This is more towards the very bottom of this one. Is it on this side? Let's check. Like I said, 2 pages. Don't mind me. Okay, it's actually not on these. Well, I know that DLVR is $15, and then I know repurpose.io is $18.75 because I found promo codes, y'all. Look for promo codes all the time. It doesn't matter if it's for your business or your personal life. Look for promo codes. Type in the website, type in promo, see if a code is going to work for you. That's what I do. And it got me to have a cheaper thing when it comes to these operations that I use. The last thing I'm going to explain really fast is the creation process for Affirmation Station. It started just as a song that has launched itself from being a one-man segment on TikTok that I was doing that I wanted to really engage kids with, to me doing it as a podcast that helps adults through their healing journey and helps them manage their energy before going really into the world of everything that's involved in that. Okay, back to this. So that's what Affirmation Station is. And like I said, it also helps with people that do words of affirmation. It does conscious breathing. And then I end it with EFT, or emotional freedom technique, which is literally tapping on different points on your body to help dissolve some things so that you can allow the things that you really want into your life. That's why I do what I do. And I just added a new section called the venting gratitude. It's the 4th exercise, the hidden exercise right now, where we just vent gratitude in the moment just to get to a higher vibration before we even go into the talking topic. But you have to create stuff for your business. What are you going to create? Because you are all of the assets. And who are you going to hire out for the assets after you figure it out for yourself first? Not before, after. Because they might have questions for you. And if you can't answer them, the help does not become helpful. It becomes hurtful. So know what they're going to do by you trying to understand it first, or saying, this is what I have currently in mind, and how can you help me figure this out? And then actually have that dialogue back and forth, that this works or this doesn't work. Like, for example, I had a social media person. She gave me these beautiful designs, But what I failed to tell her is I don't want them animated, which means I don't want videos. I want stagnant posts so that it goes to all my platforms. 2, I also wanted it in my brand colors, which are red, purple, white, and black. She now understands it, so she has modified everything to my brand colors. But if I didn't take the time to understand what I wanted, the look I was going for, I wouldn't be able to give her that feedback. The next thing we're going to talk about is support. Like I said, this plays into the next thing. When it comes to support, like I said, I hired and I fired a business coach. I figured out that he really wasn't about the words that he has come up, and he took some things and he thought he really knew some things, and it wasn't vibing with me because I did not get the services that I signed up for. So I fired him. He didn't even give me homework. I fired him. I didn't even get to work with him. So I fired him. And I was pursuing legal action because he was doing some silly stuff. In addition to that, like I said, I completed a workshop from Operation Hope. I hired a coach who's currently helping me build a program right now. Her name's Diana. I absolutely love Diana. Diana is based in Germany, originally from Romania. I love having the international front because for me, I wanted an international business. I want an international business. I have to have international people and culture near me. Okay. So that's how I cultivate that. The next thing is I hired a branding and press professional from India. She's been in the industry for over 20 years. She helps me. She supports me. She loves on me. She lets me know how I did in my interviews on my podcast versus, Charente, why'd you say that like that? She will question me and call me on my stuff, and I very much appreciate it. I need the support. We all need the support. So figuring out your support team and what areas you're looking for support specifically in. I knew I wanted it in my business. I knew I wanted it within my health. I have different coaches for different things. Also, my support, my networking system, where I actually go to networking events and I meet new people. And that's where I was able to talk to people about, hey, this is what energy is versus this is what all this time and all that fun stuff is. And they were able to see who I was. And then we're like, what's your name again? What's the name of your company again? And then they started following me on Instagram. But you have to develop that support team also in your physical, not just digitally. Then next thing is my support team also comes from podcasts where sometimes you have to pay to play. So I paid for a feature, and that's what you guys currently see on the screen is one of the features that I paid for. In this experience, I also learned that I have to be very articulate and mindful of my words, because let's just say the story they wrote on me, I was like, whose life is this? Because this isn't me. This is not what I said. And now I know that I have to actually put that information out there. I have to create my own press kit of the different things that I want to communicate to people and stick to those things. It now makes sense of why so many artists and so many celebrities have press people when it comes to interviews, so they can stay on the topic at hand. I lost that when I did this, and that was a learning lesson from it, but it's also a way that I supported myself and for me to really get more out there. This is another pause, and then, like I said, I'm going to go into tools. We have literally 3 more slides, and that's it for today. Anyone? Questions?
This is beastly. I'm loving the 1-2 punch and the tools. Like the way you're laying it out is brilliant. Step 1, I love what you've done. And then there are 2 people that are immediately to mind that should have had their behinds here because they're missing this. That's just 2-year-old speaking. Go ahead and keep going, Mama.
I actually had a question.
Yes, sir.
You have packed so much into this. As Malika said, it is beastly. How do you keep balance for your life, for free time, for playtime, for you time, and time for you and your spouse and your dog? I mean, with everything you've said thus far, it sounds like you're operating on roughly about 61 hours out of a day.
I love you so much, Scott. And that actually ties into the next section. So if you want me to go to the next section, I can give you that answer.
Hey, you're driving this train.
Okay. So these are my tangible things, and now I'm going to go into my non-tangible things and the softwares that I use. That is what helps me manage my time. Okay. So just want to start there. So we're going to go in, like I said, tangible tools, and then we're going to go into non-tangible, actually digital tools. So the tangible tools, I have an actual business phone. I don't have it on me. It's on the charger. She's beautiful. I love the photo qualities, and that's the reason I got her, is literally for that. And then she surprised me by also having a screening call service. It's a Google Pixel Pro 6 that screens all of my calls for me, which is very helpful. So I don't have to do it. I can actually see the transcription of the words of what they will say, and then I can pick up the phone. In addition to that, I have a ring light, as you can, you can't see in that photo, but I showed you guys earlier. It's above here, as well as I have lined mic. I also have wireless mics. I use my wireless mics for my podcast. This is one of my mics, of my multiple mics that I have. This is a condenser. I have multiple headphones. I have a printer with the ink subscription. The ink subscription is very inexpensive. Instead of buying the ink all the time, I can spend $5 and they'll send me ink. Ooh, I love it. It makes me very happy. It's HP. Another thing is I got a whiteboard that helps me. She's very helpful to brainstorm and do mind maps on. I also have big sticky notes. I got a tripod with an auto tracker that you guys can actually currently see in my background right now, and it has a mount. And I also have a selfie stick that I take with me that turns into a tripod if I need to be on the go in the flow. I'm at going to the airport, anything, I'm able to do what I need to do. And I also use my Apple Watch that I normally have on me as my remote to help me take photos, and it'll literally do a countdown for me. And I love that function. And I also have a Windows computer, and I have a Apple laptop. I love tech, so I have both, because when I'm teaching on these things, I also teach the tech side of stuff. And I'm able to do that because I have the software to say, okay, you need to do a command shift 5, and you do that, you're going to automatically start screen recording a video on your Apple computer. I only know that because I have had an Apple, and I still have an Apple. Now, the softwares that I use that help me manage my time, because that's what specifically you said. If you go down below Tango and above Wave Accounting, that app is called Motion. Motion helps me plan out my life in buckets. When I say buckets, I really do mean buckets. And I have a bucket for my husband. So I call it marriage. I call it where you are able to see my current W-2 job. You're able to see my schooling. You're able to see everything that you need to be able to see so that I can manage my life. So I will quickly show you what that actually looks like in a second. I also use Tango. Tango is how I do a workflow capture. So if, let's say I'm teaching someone, I need to make a job aid, training guide, or something like that. It's a Google extension that I have added that I say start, and it will auto capture all of my steps as I am doing things on a website. And I can put that into an easy trainable document. Okay. Another thing I use is Wave Accounting. It's free. It's an accounting software. It also helps me profit and loss statements. Canva, it's my digital beast in and of itself. It's how I created the slideshow presentation. I love her. She's helpful. She generally does have stock-free stuff, but mind you, anything that you create with Canva, besides t-shirts, if you make it into a tangible product, you can get sued by them because you're going against the terms and conditions of the thing. So please be mindful when you are using Canva for the actual tangible products, not just digital products. Okay. Google Suite is how I have my Charente at jclv21.com or info@jclv21.com or customer service at jclv21.com. How I have that is through Google. It's $12 a month. Next thing I have also is StreamYard. When I want to stream on multiple platforms at one time, I have my chat in one area, and I want to pay $25 a month, and I also can pre-record things and upload it for a later publishing. I have that software. This is everything that I use. Tapping Solutions is how I also learn new EFT techniques. I may sound like I do a lot, but please know, Scott, this. Me and my husband have check-ins every day after he gets off of work, and we check in for an hour, see if we're good, what's up, and then we move into whatever our next activity is. Mind you, during the day, I am taking my dog out to go use the bathroom. I just do it in divine inspiration and flow. So I may sound like I'm doing all of it at one time. I am not. I'm doing a little here, a little here, a little here, because I do some of all and all of nothing. I like having a diverse portfolio of what I do. So my life is like that. And I don't spend 61 hours. I used to do that where I had a full-time job, part-time job, full-time school, full-time church ministry, and I was sleeping 4 hours out of the day. And I was operating at a place of pure dysfunction because I could not even stay up at work. So I don't do that now. I just go in divine timing and flow. Did that answer your question, Mr. Scott?
It very much did. And I'm thankful that you were able to break that down. I truly appreciate it. And I think something in this video, and Maliki, I'm telling you, this video is gold for not only the people in Mastermind, but anybody. This is paid Mastermind type stuff. One thing I'm going to share, and I'm going to start it out with a question for you for some of the people you coach or mentor. How hard is it for you to deal with a client that doesn't have their life together the way you come with your life together? Because there's a point that just seeing what you've presented, I think needs to be kind of expounded on.
So I will say if someone comes to me and their life's not together, this is why for me, I get paid per session and not where they pay for the entire thing up front. And the reason I do that, it allows me to fire the client. Because if you're not going to come in and try to do the homework, even just a little bit, then you don't really want someone in your life to help with the training and to the learning. And I'm all about the learning. And if they're not flowing with the learning and the kindest way I have to say it, they're not ready for me at the time. They can always redeem that package later on from me. And they have up to a year to do it. And I will honor it. But if it's not the right time for them, I tell them it's okay to pause. Like, you met me, you now know I exist. So when you figure it out and you have a little bit more time and you believe you do, come back to me. Mind you, I'll let you know that you still have to redeem this, but you pay for me as you go. I don't do that whole, hey, you get me for the entire year and then you don't show up and then you want to do a chargeback after that. No, I'm going to stop you well before we even get there by giving you pay per go.
I thank you for answering that as well, because I think I touched on this recently in a room of investors and entrepreneurs, a lot of business people who were starting out in business. And I shared with them the fact that a lot of people want to either, buy a marketing team or buy this or buy that so they can do that part for them. And I shared that if you don't know what you want before you get them, at least a third of the money and time you're spending is for them to figure out what's in your own head. And the more you can do that, the more money and time you're saving. And that's literally part of what you're displaying here, because a lot of people would have paid for someone else to figure all of this out, and you've done it all yourself. So well done. Well done.
Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you. And I will say this, because you did ask the question and I'm all about show and tell, I'm going to go ahead and quickly pause. Okay. So because you asked, Scott, can you see this screen? Can you see my mouse move?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. This is motion. And this is why I love motion right here. So as you see, I have all my projects. You see I have some things in the backlog. You see that, hey, you got multiple instances of this. I call this enjoying life. I make this as fun as I can. I got learning time. I got love is all there is. Partnership. That means it's my baby time. That's my husband time. Okay. I make this as fun as I can. And I also put everything I need to do within these buckets. This is my mom. She's Bam Bam Jamma. That's my mom. And let's create videos. The reason I like this app is when you can add a new folder. So that's a new bucket. Or you can take a task. Let me go ahead and hit edit. And you can change the priority level. You can change the project, add it to recurring, make it only during certain work hours and your schedule, add notes to this, say when you need it completed by, priority level, if it's complete, and all that right in here. Another reason I like this particular thing is for the scheduler. This is how I schedule different things. I'm going to show you guys my schedule link when it comes to my friends, so you guys can see what this is. I stop my Calendly because of this right here, and I have other ways to collect money from my clients, like invoices, because I also want them to sign my contract at the exact same time. So they'll say, hey, I want 45 minutes. They're going to see all the 45 minutes that are available that are after a certain time on my calendar. Because I said for my friends, they only can get me after 4 p.m. Pacific time. So that's what it shows. It displays it. You click on it and say, I want your name. I want your email address so you can also get a calendar invite. Where are we hanging out? Location. What are we doing? What vibe are we cultivating? This also protects me at the exact same time, so I know where we're at mentally when we're going to meet during this. And if you change your number, please let me know you changed your number. And then my last statement is I just love them and they can schedule with me. And then it'll pop up on my calendar. Mind you, when I get emails with someone asking about my availability, this generally will pop up and let me know what time actually works for me on my calendar at the exact same time. And let's quickly go here. So what my calendar looks like. You might say, oh, she looked like a beast, but this is what it looks like currently. It has all my stuff on it. Sorry, I have a movie coming out soon. See, I put everything on my calendar, okay? Because I need to know some stuff. And this also feeds in my W-2 calendar. This feeds in my actual business calendar, and it feeds in my personal calendar. So I actually truly know what my 100% availability actually is. And this is where all my tasks sit. If I don't get it done, I don't get it done. I'm not worried about it. It's going to reprioritize it for me on a different day and a different time. And I just let it be. Another thing that I like about this is conferencing. You can add your Zoom account. You can add your Google Meet account, and you can and your Teams. That's a new one. And then it could automatically go there wherever it is. So I let them know, auto-generate a link for me. This is the phone number, and this is the standard location that everyone's going to see. That's not my house. I make sure it's not my house. I just make sure it's at the house in Vegas so someone can connect with me. And time zone, my time zone is that time zone. I work a lot of Eastern time, like Malikia, that I love so much. So I have it as a secondary thing on my calendar. So when I'm looking at it, I know really what time it is. My schedules, like I said, you can pick your schedules. You can apply them and literally have your schedule go based off different schedules, including your tasks. Schedule settings, your personalized link, your default message, or whatever it's going to be. Auto scheduling, display names. You can hide it so no one can actually see what's on your calendar except for you. And it'll just say busy motion task. That's it. That's all they're going to see. And then I also say, please schedule some breaks in between. Like, don't just give these tasks back to back to back. Like, I need a break. And the last thing is go ahead and automatically schedule me focus time so I can chunk out a lot of my tasks at one time. This is the Motion app as a more of a view that you can see.
And how important is this, Charente, to have when you have a partner, and I mean a partner in relationship, to have them on board with how you are with your business, your life, your scheduling, all of that?
I let him be him, and I bring up different things as I'm learning them. So I learned the mind map. So we mind mapped him first, and then we mind mapped me, kind of thing. And he feels a lot better because now he can actually see it. So I support him in all that he does because he's also a business owner himself. And I just help him really lay down that foundation, helped him set up his processes. And now we're just in the fine tuning of everything and really doing some stuff. Like I said, everything's in alignment. And I talk to him about a lot of stuff, but he does not know everything. So let's say, I am no longer here tomorrow. My business automatically stops altogether. And I know that because me and him have not finished having that communication for him to actually know what I do, because he doesn't do what I do. And I'm not going to force him to know everything that I do. And that's okay. And that's why I'm building a team as well.
Okay. Thank you for answering.
No worries. Like I said, we have two different businesses. And I know his business, but I don't know the weeds because he does card vending. And I really don't understand that it's supplied. It's a different level. I'm just going to say it's a different level. It's like stocks. And I'm going to let him be him. But I know the logistics of the hard stuff of you post on just TCG Player. After you post on TCG Player, you get an order. After you get an order, you go ahead and mark it in the system. And I'm taking time to understand what he does. So if something happens to him, I can keep his business running. I just mean I know what cards 100% buy. I know there's going to be releases. I know what websites to look at it for. But for me, he doesn't know the opposite way. And we're working on that as we speak. So like I said, these are the softwares that I use, and let's go ahead and close this out, y'all, with the last parts of this presentation. And that is, thank you so much for being you and for your time today. And I love you to infinity and beyond. And I'm going to stop sweating now. Thank you. Business 101 brought to you by Coach Charente. Any questions, concerns?
Hi, Charente. I have a question.
Yes, love.
Hi.
Hi, Dallas.
This is beastly, as you've heard others say, like it's amazing. And people say this to me, and so I've said I'm gonna say it to you, like, how do you do all this stuff? Like, it's a lot. So some of what Scott was saying. But I might have missed it. You might have shared it and just went fast. I heard that you employ a lot of systems. I heard that you employ coaches. I didn't hear that you employ like contractors, like people. So
I do.
you have any VAs or any of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, my social media person's my VA. I love her so much. She's so like me. And so like, I love her. And I met her at a networking event. And she's just the cutest, sweetest little pie as can be, because I asked her what are her goals, because she asked me what are my goals. And I was like, this is different. And she told me she wanted to become a virtual assistant. I was like, girl, I did that for a minute. I set myself on Upwork, Fiverr, all that stuff. I was like, I can mentor you on all this. So as she does with my social media stuff, I'm also mentoring in all the systems that I do and teaching her all these things so that she can use what she's going to use, as she already has a business and other co-founders of that business, which is the networking group that she has, where she brings in women of all ethnicities, backgrounds. It doesn't really matter. The group is from age 21 of women to age 77, and helping her really shape her life by me teaching her some of this stuff. Not all of it, as it's a lot, as you guys can see.
Notice.
Yes, I do have a person. So let's say I need someone to do editing for my poetry book. I don't currently have, I do have one next to me. See, for my poetry book. I have an editor that I found in Nigeria. She charges me $55 for this entire book. Okay. And whatever other book that I will have, it's over 10,000 words. She charged $55. Okay. And she's fast as heck. She did my poetry book in less than a day and a half. And I got it back, and it was beautiful after I read through it. I also have tried to hire out for my illustrations for my letter tracing book that I told you that I found out from Canva that I could get sued for. So I elicited it for my cousin to do it. He is a high school student currently in junior year, now about to go into senior year. He didn't have the time. He did my business logo, but he didn't have the time to do that. So now I'm going to go back to Fiverr of the people that I already talked to and told them what I was looking for. I gave them the mock of what I've already created and said, you just need to replicate it in your design artisticness with all these Black people. Okay. And that's all I needed to do. I know what my budget is. My budget was $250 for that project, and I found someone that met my budget.